welcome to the Gaia update for the new moon in Libra that is happening on Monday, October 8th. I'm Adrienne Elise. So we have this powerful new moon in Libra at the same time that Venus is retrograde. On Friday the 5th, Venus turns retrograde in Scorpio. It's going to retrograde in Scorpio and go back into Libra. So this Libra-Scorpio energy, this Libra-Scorpio cusp is really important right now. Venus is the ruler of Libra. And so in Scorpio, in retrograde, with a new moon in Libra, is bringing us some potent messages about relationships, how we relate to each other, and whatever might be hidden in our psyche that needs to be revealed for us to have the life that we really want. Because Venus is our planet of what we love, what makes us feel good, and our self-worth and our resources. And so there's a lot of energy of shadow there where we, and this is kind of we all have masculine and feminine within us, but the Venus represents the feminine within all of us, that part of us that might feel worthless and, kind of not deserving of the life that you want. And that's just programming. But Venus is taking us into these places. And it's like our world is starting to break down because we're having all of this Pluto squaring going on. Moon and a sun will come into a square with Pluto just after this new moon. And before this new moon, Mercury makes a square with Pluto from Libra. So this is saying that Pluto in Capricorn, Pluto's the breakdown, the destroyer, and Capricorn is the structures of our lives. And so it's time to break some stuff down. So, Venus retrograde, this is qualifying what this Venus retrograde is about. And the Venus retrograde is like, okay, so what needs to break down? What do you really want? What is the life? Where is the passion and the meaning? And how come you're not living from that place? And what's in the way of that has got to be destroyed. And that's a hard place. I mean, this is where we're at in the world. It's where we're at within our individual consciousness. And it's like a great battle going on within around whether we deserve as human beings on this planet the life, like a good life that's healthy and supported rather than poisoned and controlled. So we're getting to a point where we have to face what is in the shadow, what's in the darkness, what's behind the veil in our deeper subconscious that's keeping us from having a life of meaning, from feeling welcome on the planet, from feeling like we're supposed to be here and we're a part of an amazing experience, which is the truth. But most people are kind of just getting through life. So it's just, 2018 continues to be a powerful year of transition and shifting. And this Venus retrograde is like the cherry on top. It's saying, okay, what do you really want? What do you really care about? What's in the way? And the way these things are going to be shown to us is through relationships. Because Libra rules one-on-one interaction in relationships on all levels. How we relate to each other. This is how we're going to be shown those shadowy places. So relationships are on the table right now with this new moon in Libra. Venus being a ruler of Libra makes this very powerful, and also retrograding back into Libra. So new moons are new beginnings. So it's a really great energy on this new moon. I hope you can join me for the live activation to come together and just be present with this energy right now and put a new intention out there for how we all relate to each other with perhaps more compassion and love. Venus stands for compassion and love, and part of the retrograde is like facing the fact that this world isn't really based on that, even though that's the truth of who we are spiritually. Why isn't this world reflecting that? And that's why we need to break some stuff down, and that has to happen in our psyche, our belief systems around whether or not we deserve, and out in the world where it's like enough is enough. It's time to start treating each other fairly. So it's like a lot of what's coming up, I'm just getting this energy around like narcissistic types of relationship, and this is really common with empaths and narcissists, and dealing with people who on the one hand are maybe too compassionate, if that's possible, too empathic, too sensitive, and then people who don't have an awareness of other people. And this is kind of what's going on our planet too, on a bigger level. And so it's like we're all fighting this battle with the darkness in our psyche every moment of every day. And Pluto's like, break it down. Get rid of it. It's not about fixing a system by putting a Band-Aid on it and strengthening it, supporting it a little bit. No, we've done enough of that. Pluto says, break it down, destroy it, so we can build it again in a new way. So that's kind of what's happening right now with this Pluto involved in all of this as this Venus is taking a retrograde. We're breaking down in our psyche the false belief systems, the programming, to get to that life of meaning and purpose. And it's a feeling, Venus retrograde gives us, it's like Venus doesn't really like going into the shadow so much, but it's strengthening for her. It's empowering for her. You know, it's like the goddess needs to go and face the truth so that she can come back into that balance, into that light, into that compassion. But first you have to go down into the darkness and face, like, maybe like when you do wake up in a narcissist relationship and you haven't seen what's going on, you thought you were feeling love and it was really about control. And you wake up and you realize that this, what you thought was something, was love and healthy, is actually something toxic and damaging. And it's really hard to have to look at those truths. And so that's kind of what we're reviewing right now in our psyche. And everywhere that we've told ourselves that we don't deserve true love and a compassionate world and the world that we really want. And I'm going to tell you, there are so many light worker souls on the planet right now. And congratulations for making it through all you've made it through to be here, because we need you. But there's so many, and it's like they don't have a voice right now, at least in this world. They have a voice on the astral plane. And remember that. You have a voice, and it's just really, really powerful, because there's so many people on the planet right now that see things for how they really are, even though they're conflicted and broken and scared inside. These people understand on a fundamental level that there's more to this experience. That's part of why it's been so difficult for you. Now that the framework of this reality is starting to break down, you're actually going to start feeling better and realize why you're here, and start kicking into being that light and that compassion, that living example. Because I'm going to tell you, there's so many people on the planet living this truth in their heart, even though they might feel like there's no place for it in this world. But when these people find each other and this grid grows, I mean, it's game over for the dark side. And it's just like, there's just too many people on the planet who actually get it for this to go backwards anymore, even though it looks like we're going backwards. And we're definitely, like I said, there's a psychic battle going on, and it's at its like height right now. And that's a lot of what the Scorpio energy is about. So Venus is taking us on a journey. And you can just feel that pull into this Venus retrograde energy. And so this new moon is going to be a really potent, powerful time to set your intention for your compassionate, healthy relationships, for your compassionate, healthy relationship with yourself, for your compassionate, healthy, and fair and just relationship with Mother Earth, and our compassion and just full of justice and love for each other in the world. So the live activation is going to happen Monday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I hope you can join me for that. And I will keep up with updates as we move through this really potent Venus retrograde time. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.